Hi, I'm Paul. For this video, I'm going to do something a little bit different, I think. So I've not really got anything new to give, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to post my first ever video that I made on consciousness. Uh, mm, so it was about a year and a half ago, July, I think it was August 2023. It was probably when I first started to kind of catch on to the idea that there was something else. And so I suppose prior to this point, I kind of broke down, meaning my reality broke down, and I started trying to seek what was left without my original reality, I guess. So I was seeking, and I cottoned on to something that I thought was truth, and I was spending a lot of time searching through my head and trying to understand it. So this is the first video I ever did, and I thought it'd be interesting because you could see the differences from a year and a half ago, whatever it was, to now, both in my behaviors and my knowledge. So I hope you enjoy. It should come on just after I finish talking. Thanks very much for listening. Hi, I'm Paul. I just want to share this video with you today because I've been working on something for a few months now, and I come up with a thought today what pretty much rules it out, but still pretty interesting seeing the journey that I went to. But the theory that I've been working on for a few months is consciousness, where consciousness exists. But consciousness, some people call it the soul or the spirit. Consciousness is like the experience that you have. So the touch, the senses, the smells, the feelings, the thoughts, the ideas. My theory has been, where is it held? And what I've been working on is perhaps it's held in atoms. And well, a lot of people know that the water that we've got on Earth is the same water as what we had, right? Well, not quite from the beginning, but I think something like 3.5 billion years ago. So water doesn't get replaced or anything. So the water we drink is the same water as what the dinosaurs drank, just gets filtered and gets reused. But what a lot of us miss out on is that's exactly the same as atoms. So everything is made of atoms. Everything. Tables, buildings, people, oxygen, gases, water, all of it. The whole thing. Atoms. And my theory of the atoms is possibly just space dust. So if you think about it, there's a big explosion in space. Little space dust particles shoot off. And because of the big explosion, it created a nuclear energy, which is the protons, neutrons, and electrons. They shoot off as well, and each of them kind of clung on to an atom, making a charged atom. And each of them atoms is what creates everything in the earth, even rocks and stones. So, if everything is made of atoms, my theory was perhaps the consciousness, the soul, spirit, was held in the atoms. I think one recent-ish study suggested that each atom can hold one bit of information. And in our bodies, we've got 70 octillion on average atoms in our whole body. Some people say, well, consciousness is in the brain. And well, in the brain, we've got 200 billion neurons, and each neuron has 200 trillion atoms. But whichever it's held in the brain or body or whatever, it's still atoms. So my theory is it was held in the atoms. And if you think each time we say drink a glass of water, the water goes inside of us, and that's atoms, and them atoms cling onto our cells, and our cells get replenished by these new atoms that are coming into us. And let's say we go to the toilet, and then that water then feeds the plant. That water's then taking in the atoms what came from you. And I did have a thought at one point, perhaps the atoms what go into the plant holds just one bit of you and goes into the plant. Probably not now. And if you think also that every 10 years, every part of you, all the atoms have all been replaced. All the atoms have gone and been fully replaced, yet still you have a consistent self, you have consistent memories. So this is kind of breaking down my theory of a consistent self is held in the atoms. But the thought what I had today was, let's just say there's somebody stood in front of me now and we're having a conversation, and that person's having experiences, senses of smells and touches and light and thoughts and ideas and feelings and emotions. Let's just say you just unfortunately dropped dead. For that moment, no atoms is left of the body. Atoms don't die either, we just continue, we just change form. But for that moment, all the atoms are still there. Yet the consciousness has just gone. It's like somebody just pulled the plug. So I'm curious, if this is the case, then perhaps the consciousness is somewhere else. And the consciousness is observing all the experiences in the world through that body. I don't really know. Don't know on that one, but thanks very much for listening.